So in this class, we're doing chair yoga, and the first portion of the class will completely be in the chair seated. So in case you're in a location where you do not want to get down on the ground, then you don't have to. And I set a pause in there. You'll know exactly when that would be your place to stop. But if you have a chair and you have accessibility to the floor, stick around for the entire class. You'll still need your mat and your props. All right, let's go. Welcome to chair yoga. My name is Sandra. So this is my intention for this practice. You're going to need a chair, obviously, preferably one that doesn't have arms on it. You might be able to work around that a little bit. And the intention also is to start out in the chair, just in case, I wanted to make this accessible to you if you're at a place where you cannot lay on the floor or you don't want to lay on the floor. So the first half of what we're doing is solely going to be seated in case you need a little chair yoga at the office or wherever, airport, who knows, right? And then we'll pause for a breath and we're going to go ahead and move to the mat. So you also need your mat and all your props in all their prop glory, okay? So since we are starting off in the chair, if you are worried about it indenting your mat, you don't have to be seated on the mat quite yet. In practicing ahimsa with chair yoga, I just really want you to be cautious and cognizant of how supportive your chair is. In other words, if you're on a folding chair like I am, make sure you don't hit the wrong spot and it's going to fold up on you and we're going to lose our support. So, because we will be doing some standing as well. All right, but I'll give you a shout out when I think you really should pay attention to the stableness of your chair. All right, so go ahead and plant both feet on the ground, palms down on top of the legs, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. Give me a deep inhale through the nose, loud exhale. And just taking your focus to feeling the ground under the feet, feeling the chair underneath your thighs, your hips, allowing yourself to be supported in this practice. And trust me, if your mind has already jumped to chair yoga, this is going to be too easy. I challenge you to stay open-minded. All right, give me another deep breath in. Big exhale. Inhale, take both arms up, bring the palms together and release them home to your heart in prayer pose. We're going to pause here to set an amazing, positive, self-loving intention. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release the hands back down and open your eyes. All right, so I'm going to have you widen out the feet and the knees, and you're going to want to slide on forward to the edge of that chair. My hands are going on top of my thighs, fingers in, so I can get my weight gently pushing down on my legs. Now, as you push down, find that length in the spine. There's your inhale. Exhale, let's drop the right shoulder forward. So you're deciding how low you're coming, right? Inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop the left shoulder. Keep going. If you want to add breath retention to slow this down, you should. If you're not sure what breath retention is, it's an inhale, hold the breath. Exhale, hold the breath. So just make sure that as you move through the transition, each movement is linked to the breath. We're coming up on the inhale. We're settling in on the exhales. I will still be giving variations to some of these poses because just because we have the chair doesn't mean that it's right for our body today. One more time each side. And I'll be giving you different options as to how you're sitting in the chair or which way the chair is facing. All right, when you're ready, come all the way back up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to the heart. So seated cat-cow in the chair can be, we can do this one of two ways, and I want you to figure out what works best for you. You can either come right to the edge, because we need space to round out the back, right? So we can be here, hands in front of the knees. Inhale, sitting up tall, creating that arch. Exhale, rounding out. If you don't like that, turn around on your chair, grab onto the back. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale. Now, I want you to be careful here if you do this, right? My chair feels it's slightly unstable, so as you round out and you're hanging onto the chair, take your feet a little more forward, will you please, so that this chair doesn't tip over. So go ahead and find your seated cat-cow. You decide which way you want to do that. When you come to cat, make sure you drop the chin, really rounding out. Give me one more. And then when you're ready, sit up straight. Close your eyes for a moment, deep inhale. And let it go. I'm going to drop my left hand. I'm going to grab on to the bottom of the chair, just for a little support. Inhale that right arm up. Find your length. When you're ready to exhale, take it to the left. So a nice side bend here. So again, if you don't feel sturdy, we can turn the chair. I could really have something taller, sturdier to grab onto if I want to take that side bend, or turn it in the other way. So I'm taking that side bend across, but I could reach over and then feel like I'm really hanging on to this chair. So think about your options. When you're ready, come back to center, and we'll do the other side. I could also turn my chair this way, right? So however you've decided to take your chair, and I encourage you to play, have that right hand grabbing on somewhere, and then let's take that left arm up, side bend to the right. So by now you're probably starting to see why if you've got arms on the chair, we're going to have to be a little creative. We're not going to be able to turn the chair in all different directions, but that's okay. Probably just means you're having to sit at the very edge of that chair. Stay there one more breath. And then go ahead and come back to center. Release the arm. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale to the heart. And then release the hands. All right, so Garundasana, eagle pose. Go ahead and plant that left foot. I kind of did slide a little bit forward on my chair. It's up to you. Lift up the right leg, cross it over. Now, we don't want to just haphazardly cross the knees. The tighter you can get the leg to cross over, the easier it is to take that right foot and wrap it around. As always, we're not pushing things, so if there's no way that leg is wrapping around, it's okay. Perhaps you can draw the foot in towards the left leg. Maybe not, maybe we're just sitting cross-legged, so that's up to you. All right, go ahead, inhale, take the arms up. Bring the palms together, release the hands to the heart. Inhale, scarecrow. Let the heart move forward, take the gaze up, hold it right here, keep breathing. And then when you're ready, the elbows come forward. We're going to find eagle with the arms. So let's take the right arm underneath the left. And then again, the arms are just like the legs. If they wrap around, fine. If they don't, maybe backs of the hands together. If this is really a struggle and this is, maybe we end up somewhere with the arms out, rest them on your shoulders. The point to having the arms in eagle is to round out the shoulders and create space between the shoulder blades, right? So I want to push my shoulders forward, keep the elbows the height of the shoulders, and breathe. You can close your eyes. If you want to, you can play around with dropping the elbows, maybe dropping the gaze, taking the arms up, taking the head back, or you can stay still. It's up to you. Whatever you decide, make it work for you today. Let's do it with intention, not just I'm going to move because I feel like I am supposed to do that. And then bring the arms where we started, right? With the elbows straight out from the shoulders. Okay, give me an inhale here. Exhale, bring the elbows down towards your chest. Hold that, and then let's see if we can drop the forearms. So fingers dropping somewhere toward the knees. Deepen the breath. Can you feel the shoulders rounding? Oh, that's beautiful space between the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, unravel everything. I want you just to stretch the legs out. Slouch. Oh, this chair's cold. Slouch back in your chair for, oh my gosh, for a moment. Whew. Close your eyes. All right. Come on back up. Plant that right foot. Lift the left leg up. Let's find eagle. With the legs first. Find your length. When you're ready, arms up. Palms together. Release to your heart. Take the arms down and back up again. And to your heart. From here, we're going to open the arms up into scarecrow. Send the heart forward, gaze up, hold it here, keep breathing. As we come into eagle arms, it's the left arm that's going underneath the right. Set your alignment, meaning that the upper arms are parallel to the ground, shoulders are rounding forward. Close your eyes here. And then either stay here or add some movement to the arms. And then bringing the arms back to their starting point. Inhale here. Exhale, release the elbows down, drop the gaze, and then let the forearms gently fall away from you. Strong breath in. Exhale, everything unravels. Slouch back in your chair, stretch out the legs for a moment, close your eyes. All right, and then slowly, let's sit back up. So we're coming to standing. Any pose that we do with the chair that you don't feel like is keeping you safe and stable, maybe let go of the chair, and I'll refresh your memory on how we do the pose, I suppose, without the chair, but I think you guys know. Anyway, I want to step back from my chair, so you might want to bring the chair out in front of you so you can still see your screen or whatever it is you're looking at. So I have the seat closest to me. I'm just going to take that left foot forward and then hinge forward. Let's get the hands to rest on the chair. So the back leg, I'm going to step back just a tad, but all 10 toes are facing the chair. So this might start to look familiar to you, right? We're heading into pyramid. We have options here. If it's too hard to get down to the seat of the chair, all you need to do is turn the chair around, right? Okay. Remember, in pyramid, whichever leg goes back, that's the hip that's going to want to open up. So pull that right hip forward and just breathe right here. Now, if you're here and you aren't feeling any stretch, I have two considerations for you. The first one is focus on lengthening from the tailbone, the root chakra, to the crown of the head. And that could be your practice. Or you could drop down onto your forearms. Watch that right hip. If you do that, pull it back forward and hold right here. So choose what's right for you. Close your eyes, focus on the breath. Deep inhale, loud exhale. If you came down onto the forearms, come on back up into the hands so we're supported, and we're just going to switch out the legs. So remember, lengthen from the tailbone to the crown. Pull that left hip forward. Option A is right here. Option B, come on down to the forearms. All right, deep inhale. Loud exhale. Again, if you're on your forearms, get your hands back on the chair. Now, what we're going to do from here is just take that right foot, step it back to the left, and I'm going to push my hips back so they're right over my ankles. So this is down dog using the chair. And again, if you don't like the slight angle downward, turn your chair around. You can grab onto the back of it. And then this resembles down dog on the wall, right? Hands would be forward on the wall. We're trying to get the back parallel to the earth. We want the hips over the ankles, which probably is the hardest part to tell on your own if that's where they are. And then we're focusing on lengthening. Soles of the feet pushing down, lengthening up to the hips, hips lengthening to the crown and out through the fingers. Deepen the breath. All right, deep inhale. Loud exhale. And then slowly make your way back up. Pause here for a second. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to the heart. Close your eyes. All right. We got some fun stuff coming up here. Have the chair in front of you. Have the, I want to just make sure I'm thinking this through in my head so I end up facing you. Have the back of the chair to your left side. Okay, so I'm going to take my left leg and bring it over the chair. You can do this from sitting. So you could start right here, turn to your left. I want that left thigh on the chair. The right leg is going to reach out behind you. Look at this fabulous lunge. How supported is this? Takes out all the work almost, right? So we want the toes tucked on that back foot. You're trying to get the heel right above the ball of the foot. It's primarily the thigh that's sustaining you in this pose, right? All right, now lengthen, sit up nice and tall. Reach the arms up. Deepen the breath. And then we'll bring the palms together and release them to the heart. So option A, stay right here. Option B, I'm going to take my hands around to grab on to the back of the chair. I haven't twisted the upper body, just reaching my arms over. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, use the back of the chair to help guide you into a twist here. You're not holding the breath. And then when you get to an exhale, slowly release. I'm coming all the way around. I'm going to end up facing forward, or you might be sideways. I'm not sure which way you're facing, but I want to end up, well, it's kind of a warrior bee pose, right? So I have my left foot flat on the ground. I have this knee open, hip is open. I pivoted my foot so that the toes are facing in the direction I'm looking. So you see how this would be a warrior bee? Okay, inhale the arms up. Exhale to the heart. Open the arms out wide. Take the gaze over that left hand. You are breathing in your strength. Can you feel it? All right, reverse warrior. So take that left hand, turn the palm up. That arm's going up while the right hand drops down. Nice. Come back to your warrior bee arms, Virabhadrasana. And then left forearm to the left thigh. Reach that right arm over. You can take your gaze wherever makes you happy. Big inhale. Let go of the breath and come on up. All right, draw the legs back in. I'm going to turn to face the right side of my chair. I am going to stretch, running into a prop. I'm going to stretch that left leg out behind me. Tuck the toes, get the heel over the ball of the foot, sit up nice and tall. When you're ready, take the arms up. And then hands to the heart. Just close your eyes for a moment. You, of course, can stay right here or take the hands over to grab onto the back of the chair. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, take that twist to the right. And then when you get to your next exhale, slowly release. Pivot to the front of your chair. All I'm doing is kind of just changing up small alignment issues with the legs here to get to warrior B, right? So the right toes are facing to my right, open out the knee and the hip, plant that left foot. Shift a little here. And then inhale the arms up. Exhale to the heart. Open the arms wide. Virabhadrasana B. Look over the right hand. Turn the right palm up to the ceiling. Right arm up, left arm down. Reverse warrior. And then arms are back to Virabhadrasana for the inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. So right forearm to the right thigh. Reach that left arm over. When you get to an exhale, come on back up. Bring the legs forward. Hands on the thighs. Close your eyes for a moment. All right, I'm gonna slide back in my chair a little bit and hug that right leg in. So there's gonna be some options here, of course, as well. And that's depending on where that leg wants to end up. So if scooting back in the chair is prohibiting you from getting the leg in closer, you're coming to the edge of the chair. We need to be okay with if the leg only lifts this high, it only lifts this high. So hands underneath the thigh would help you out here. If you can get that foot up to the chair, you might be more comfortable scooching back and really hugging that leg in. It's all falling under this umbrella of ahimsa. So I really need you to be focused on what's working for you. All right, switch legs. And then go ahead and set that leg back down. Now, here's where I just want you to close your eyes and pause. If you do not have access to coming down onto a floor, depending on your space and where you're at, then this for you is where the practice is going to end with a deep breath in and a big exhale. And just pausing to be present. Inhaling love. And inhaling light. Now, if you do have access to the floor, we're coming off this chair and we're going to do some really fun things. I'm just going to slip off and turn my chair. So you're going to want the chair behind you. So I'm on my knees. I have that chair behind me. I'm just kind of tucking my legs slightly underneath the chair. So hips forward, right? Take the arms up. And then release the hands to the heart. So we're setting up for a variation of Ustrasana, camel pose. So I'm going to take my left hand and find the chair behind me. You change up whatever you need to do. If you feel like I need to grab the chair, fine. If you're just planting it, fingers facing away, fine. If you want, it doesn't matter. It's all good. All right, so here's where we're starting. Inhale that right arm up. I'm going to turn slightly to my left and just take a little side bend. I'm moving the heart forward, hips forward. And then come back to center. Release the right arm. They're switching. Right hand's going to find the chair. Inhale that left arm up. Just pull that right shoulder back a little bit. Push the hips forward for that tiny back bend. Inhale back to center. Exhale the left hand down. Both hands are reaching back to find the chair. All right. So lengthen. Hips stay forward, right? I want the head and the shoulders to start my back bend into camel pose. So wherever you end up is good. I just really want you to be careful of, do not let the hips fall back. The thighs need to stay perpendicular to the floor in camel. If this is like super easy for you, you don't feel it at all, and you could go deeper, you could come down onto your elbows. I leave it up to you. All right, big inhale. Exhale, push your way back up. Perfect. All right, turn back to face the chair for a moment. I want to round that out, right? We always want to round out the back bend. So I'm taking the legs into child's pose. My hands are hanging onto the chair, and I'm just going to soften forward. So that chair can be wherever you want it to be. If you want it closer and you want your forearms on it, you want to rest your head on your arms, that's totally fine. If you just want the fingertips on the chair so you can let the heart sink down, that's fine. Okay, one more breath here. And then walk your way up out of Balasana. Just shake that off a little bit. I can still feel our camel stretch, so you might want to move a tad. So what I have in mind is a quad stretch. And little caveat here, I really need you to pay attention to what your body wants to do and what it can do. And so I'll give you some variations along the way. You might want your blanket. So let's just put the blanket across the mat. I need to turn around. So you're facing forward. The chair's right behind you. The seat's closest to you. And I'm going to get my knees up on that blanket. Give you a second to get there. This is going to look different for all of us, okay? No ego, no judgment, no frustration. I promise I have restorative poses planned on the chair. We're getting there. I have so many ideas. All right, you ready? Okay, let's come on down into table. So for me, that chair is a little far away. I'm going to pull it closer, but where we're headed is to get the top of the left foot up on the seat of the chair. So if that means the chair's way back for you, that's fine, right? If you don't like the blanket under the knee, you can switch that up. All right. Mechanical difficulties here. Okay, so left foot is up on top, and in fact, I gotta get rid of this blanket. It's driving me crazy. All right. Well, where does that thigh stretch come in here? The quad stretch I promised you. Well, that has to do with where the right leg is gonna go. I can hear you now. What do you mean where the right leg is going to go? That's supporting me. Well, no, it's actually not necessarily. So I'm going to flex my left foot to hang onto the chair, shift my weight into the left knee and hands, and let's see if we can get this right foot to come forward. Now, having said that, I need you to be cognizant of where you have this chair. To get this leg forward, you might need that chair to be back further. And that's what I'm saying. This is going to be different for all of us. So I want you to stop when you feel the stretch in the quad. If that means, you need to scooch that knee forward, come out here, and you feel it here, and you're happy here, great, that's fine. If you're back here, and you've moved as far back as you can go, and you still don't feel anything in the quad, this is where we're adding on. So I'm going to get my balance, and I'm going to bring my hands up to rest on my right knee or thigh. I'm guessing you probably feel it now. So find that nuance in between where you might need to be. Like you could use your blocks. If coming all the way up is not an option, I mean, I really feel it here. I'm trying to work on moving my hips forward a little bit. It is tight, but I haven't moved into pain, so I'm going to stick with it. Wherever you are, be happy. Breathe. Your mantra is, I love my chair, I love my chair. All right, big inhale. Exhale, let's slowly come on out of this. Get that right leg back down on the earth. Left leg down. Move it out a little bit. Move around. You can do cat-cow. You can sway. Yeah, I think I owe you a restorative pose next. Let's do the other side first. So I need to get that right foot up on top of the chair. When you're ready, the left foot obviously that's coming forward. Make whatever adjustments you need to that you did on the other side. Deepen the breath. Inhale. Exhale, come on down. Left leg to the earth, right leg to the earth, and just sit back for a moment. Woo! All right, I owe you restorative. So this is what's happening. I'm going to take the chair. It's going to be behind me, so I'll be facing that way. If that helps you out with where you're situated. And I'm knocking the chair over. So I have the back of the chair away from me, and there's an angle to my chair that's coming towards me, right? And this is where you're going to want your bolster or a pillow. My bolster is going to go right there against that angle of the chair. And then I want my blocks. So we're coming into a supported Batakonasama, Cobbler. So make sure you can feel that bolster behind you, and then take the legs into Cobbler. Feet are touching, right? Knees are wide. And then I'm going to slowly lay back and slowly, because I want to make sure that my chair is supportive of me. And then just close your eyes. So I kind of like that my arms are resting on what's left of the legs of the chair sticking out, because now it's supporting my arms too. If you don't like that, you could drop your arms inside of the legs. And let's just close our eyes and let go. Now you love the chair, right? Who knew? Focusing on the breath to stay present, allowing the body to be heavy. You can make whatever changes you want. I decided to take my arms overhead, just kind of felt like where my shoulders wanted to go. And now my elbows are resting against the other legs of the chair. Take a couple of cleansing breaths, helping to release and let go. Soften the low back. Shoulders be heavy. Exercise here in compassion. Can you sit still and just be? Slow, deep inhale. Cleansing exhale. Just going to reach my hands forward to try to grab onto my knees. And then I'll use my fingertips to help pull me up head first. And then the back will sit up away from the bolster. Ooh, that made me ready for Shavasana. But I still have a couple more ideas, so stick with me for a second. I'm going to move that bolster. Flip my chair back over. Perfect. And then let's take the blanket and make a neck roll. So I've turned on my mat. If you need to turn around, you can, but I'll try to be extremely descriptive so you don't have to see anything. The chair's on my mat, seat part facing me. I turned to face my chair, and the blanket, my neck roll, is behind me. And so I'm going to come on down onto my back. I want to get that blanket situated comfortably under my neck first, and then the calves of the legs are going up onto the seat of the chair. And so you might have to do a little bit of wiggling so that you can get the chair right behind the knees. And then just close your eyes. So this does count as an inversion, kind of. If you don't like your legs being higher than your head, make a change. Follow that deep breath. Option A, you stay right here. Option B, hug the right knee in. Stay in either option A or B, or add on C, which is to straighten the right leg up to the ceiling. Fingers can interlace behind the thigh. If you can't reach the leg, well, you can still straighten it out, but you could have it kind of resting against the chair too. And then go ahead and return the right leg to rest on the chair. If you want to, hug the left knee in. If you want to, straighten the left leg up to the ceiling. And then release the left leg back down. Close your eyes for a moment. Stay with the breath. And then I'm going to give you one more pose option here, but I'd rather you not have your head propped up on anything. So if you could just move the blanket. If you take the right foot and rest it on the edge of the chair, so the knee's bent, I want you to think about the neck. We're lifting up, so the weight is going to shift to the shoulders and neck, and I do not want you to turn your head to look at anything. So maybe I'll do it first if you need to see the screen. All I'm going to do is lift my hips up. I've straightened out the left leg. The weight is on my shoulders. I can feel the back of my neck is flattened out against the mat, which actually feels really good, I think. But if this doesn't look like somewhere you want to go, then you stay right here. Okay? So, right foot on the edge of the mat, right knee is bent, arms are stretched down alongside of you. Pull those shoulder blades underneath you. Draw the stomach in, and then the right foot pushes into the chair to lift the hips. Feel the back of the neck gently lengthen out. Stay with your breath. When you get to an exhale, very slowly, lower back down. I'm really using the right foot to control this. Nice. Go ahead, straighten that right leg. We'll stretch it back out on the chair. It's not quite straight. Set the left foot on the edge of that chair. When you're ready, left foot is pushing into the chair to do all the lifting for you. And then wait for an exhale to slowly come back down. Control this movement. Let the foot do it all. And then hug both knees into the heart. All right, I'm just going to set my feet down, get up onto my elbows because I just want to peruse my space around me and see where my props have ended up. We're heading into Shavasana. If you liked having the chair tipped over and leaning back on the chair with your bolster for Shavasana, you could do that. And we all have different chairs. So mine has a bar going across the front. What I'm thinking of doing is putting my blanket there and then just elevating my ankles up on that. You don't even have to use the chair for Shavasana if you do not want to. So get creative and set up your space. And of course, when you're ready, close your eyes. Following the breath. Where is it going to take you? And just letting go to follow wherever Shavasana might lead today. Staying with the breath. If it seems like there's just too much going on in your mind. And remember, when those thoughts do come in, you can acknowledge them. Hey, I see you. I'll get back to you in a little while and send it on its way. I'll let you know when Shavasana is over. focus back to your breath. Invite some movement into the hands and the feet. And then depending on what your Shavasana looks like, if you're laying on your back, go ahead and roll to a fetal position. If you tipped the chair over and you're leaning back on it with the bolster, you're already kind of halfway up, so you can stay there if you like. And then we're slowly coming back up to a seated position. We're going to do one more thing with the chair. You're going to need the chair facing you on your mat. And so we're going to find child's pose. I'm going to give you a couple options. The one I kind of have in my mind, which feels really good on the shoulders, is I have my legs all set for Balasana, but I need to get my elbows forward on that chair. My hands will be together up above. And then as I lean forward, I can soften my heart down and maybe drop the hands behind me or keep them perched up there and just let the heart sink down. If you don't feel like doing that, get closer to your chair and simply rest your head on your arms. Either way, just focusing on the breath for a moment. Deep inhale. Cleansing exhale. Peacefully making your way back up. Coming back to a seated position, either on the floor or on your chair is fine. And then inhale, take the arms all the way up, palms together, and exhale them home to your heart, to Anjali Mudra. The light in me bows to the light in you. When I'm in that place in me, and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.